Hello everyone, Whitemage Serenia here, coming to you with a bit of an update video. This video might be a little on the longer side because I've had a lot on my mind as of late. But for starters, I actually want to come out and say that I'm sorry that I haven't been posting videos as regularly as I probably should be, or that I haven't posted videos at all in like the last 3 weeks or so. I've honestly meant to. You have to pardon me, I haven't slept yet because I've had a lot on my mind the past couple days, and I seriously have not been sleeping very good at all, if hardly at all. Anyway, that being said, I would like to apologize for the fact that I haven't uploaded videos in the last few weeks. Part of the reason is because I was wrapped up in this, which is Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD Remaster. That's part of it. In fact, I've still been working on X-2 as of late. But anyway, before I get to the main points that I want to get to in this video, I actually do want your guys' opinion on something, and this has something to do with a Let's Play that I've mentioned in passing before, but I've never actually revealed what it was, or maybe I did and I just don't remember. But I've always said I've considered Let's Playing this game, and it's one that I just recently brought my attention back to earlier today when I was talking to a friend of mine over Skype. And because the topic was Final Fantasy X-2 and how it gets a lot of flack, even though it was actually a successful game. How a lot of fans are polarized by it, and how X-2, while a good game in its own right, was a quote-unquote weak Final Fantasy. And it led me to feel that there's another game that I have a deep love-hate for. I actually love the game, but I hate playing it. It had a lot of great ideas, and it has one of the best stories I've ever played through. And I do eventually plan on Let's Playing it, but I want your guys' opinion on if I should Let's Play it in my usual fashion, you know, with the usual amount of editing and posting it to my Whitemage Serenia channel, or would you prefer I stream it and upload the highlights? Well, not so much the highlights, but take, you know, the clips of it, splice it up as I can through Twitch, and post those clips onto my channel, even though that would create minimal editing at that point. Anyway, without wasting too much time, this is the game that I'm referring to. I'm sorry if you can't really see that because of the blurry image, but it's Breath of Fire 5, Dragon Quarter. It's a game that I feel is, it's a good game, but it's painful. It's hard to say. The story is excellent. It's amazing for the story, if anything. It has a lot of really nice ideas. In my opinion, some of them are executed very badly, but all in all, it's not a bad game. I don't know. It's hit or miss, and as one of the reviewers said, it's a tough pill to swallow for fans of the series. But it's a good game at its core. It's just not for everybody, to say the least. So yeah, I mean, let me know how you guys think I should tackle that game, because it's one I really do want to get to eventually. Anyway, I actually did promise you guys a video out on Wednesday of last week, but unfortunately I didn't get around to it because I tried to record it, but unfortunately my power went out midway through the recording and everything corrupted. Thankfully my save file was intact, but I lost the video, the audio, and the webcam video feed. It was bad. Oh, man. Anyway, I'd actually like to sort of go over a bit of who I am, actually, because I feel like I haven't really truly done this kind of thing. Kind of wanted to give a bit of a background on why I started Let's Playing in the first place, and what it actually means to me to do these videos for you guys, the fans. As some of you may know, or may not know, I started my Let's Play, my YouTube videos, sometime in, I think, 2006. I can't remember exactly when the first date was, but the very first video that I ever uploaded to my channel was from Final Fantasy XI. It was a few slideshow pictures that I had, whatnot. It was actually meant to be a video response to a friend of mine from the game, from Final Fantasy XI. And that's actually the inspiration for my YouTube channel name, which is Whitemage Serenia. because initially I had only planned on posting Final Fantasy XI videos. Hell, I even purchased a copy of Fraps way back when just to do just that, because I tried the free version of Fraps, and at the time all I could do was record little 30-second clips here and there. So I was like, well, I don't know what else there is, so I bought Fraps right then and there. And it was a one-time purchase, so I have Fraps now and forever, pretty much. And that's what I use for a large portion of my recordings, even to this day, is my Fraps. Anyway, to sort of state a bit of who I am. I actually have high levels of anxiety. Like, I could have social disorders. I honestly don't properly know. But, to say the least, I care a little too much about what people think, and a lot of the times I'm assuming the worst. And that was a lot worse back before I started Let's Playing. It took a lot of courage for me. It took a tremendous amount of courage for me to actually come on camera that very first time I did back in Final Fantasy VI Episode 1, which was my very first actual official Let's Play. And you could tell I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I was like, hi, this is Whitemage Serenia, and I'm wanting to do one of my favorite Final Fantasies, which is Final Fantasy VI, or as it was known in its, upon its first U.S. release as Final Fantasy III, that kind of thing. And I drew a lot of inspiration from the YouTube user H.C. Bailey. He's the reason that I even got into Let's Playing initially, and it seemed like a fun little hobby to do. Like I said, I had already posted a couple of Final Fantasy XI videos at the time. I did the one, like I said, that was a slideshow. And then I did one after I got my Fraps, where I was fighting a decent challenge goblin in Bibiki Bay. Way back before I even got a lot of my better melee equipment for my Whitemage. And that video got some interesting comments, we'll say. And the main reason I did that video was because I was tired of hearing people say that, lol, Whitemage can't solo anything without Sub Ninja. And I'm like, okay, I'll prove it. I'll prove you wrong, I was very defiant when I was younger, especially before I got into Let's Playing. And as it were, I did Final Fantasy VI. And it was fun for a while, but I had to struggle really badly with Final Fantasy VI because at the time, I couldn't seem to get my Fraps to work with the software that I was using for PlayStation games, and I also didn't have a game capture, so I had to find a way around it. So I had to use emulation for the most part, and it turned out to be a friggin' train wreck. Like I used Camtasia Studio, and for a while, no, not Camtasia. Cam Studio, there it is. I used Cam Studio, which was a freeware software, and it was hard as crap to configure, and it caused a lot of frustration. I must have spent 3 days straight tinkering with Windows Movie Maker, tinkering with not Final Fantasy VI, but tinkering with Cam Studio, and it was a nightmare. It took me forever to get the proportions right. It took me forever to get the thing to not desync. It took me forever to get the frame rate good, and even then it turned out to be a mess. My first few episodes of Final Fantasy VI was a train wreck, if you ask me. But a lot of you still say that was probably my best Let's Play. It's certainly the one I was most passionate about. It's the one that I wanted to do as my very first Let's Play. Talk about an ambitious project, my gosh. Like Final Fantasy VI, man, that game, what can I say about it that hasn't already been said? It's what got me into RPGs. If you asked me, like, if someone asked me what my favorite game is, my brain just instantly picks up Final Fantasy VI, and it may or may not be my favorite game ever, who knows? It might as well be, I harp on it enough. But, if you go back and watch my original Let's Play of 6, you could actually kind of start to see me evolve. And it's thanks to you guys and thanks to my Let's Plays that I've even progressed as far as I have today. I feel like I've gotten more confident than I ever could have done without the Let's Plays and recording, because it's helped me to speak better. Hell, like, if you listen to my older videos, my accent, dude, my accent. But nowadays, I don't have as strong of an accent as I used to. I've gotten more used to talking, and my accent's nowhere near as strong. Some would say it's more I don't know. Anyway, I've already lost my train of thought, and this video is not going the same direction I wanted it to, but they rarely ever do. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, I did Final Fantasy VI, and it wasn't until around episode 21 of Final Fantasy VI that I even adopted my trademark opening, which could probably use some work, because, I don't know, I mean, I've been doing, hello everyone, Whitemage Serenia here, welcoming you to insert video title here, that I can just throw it off, like a record player, dude. I can just quote it on a dime, same pitches, same tones, it's just, hello everyone, Whitemage Serenia here, welcoming you to, you see, you could kind of get the idea. But over the past year or so, I've actually considered changing my channel name, but why? I'm pretty much known now as Whitemage Serenia, or WMS, and that's fine. That's fine with me. And you know, it was around that time, too, that I started tackling project after project. Like, while I was doing Final Fantasy VI, I picked up Legend of Legaia and started trying to Let's Play that, still with all the technical difficulties and all that other stuff. Man, it was stressful, but I kept going. I don't know what was pushing me back then. I really don't. Because I'm usually not one to struggle with something that hard. I actually, I'm the type that gives up kind of easily, to my discredit. And I've been going through a lot of personal issues, especially in the last year or so, that has really slowed down my progress tremendously. So, and that's unfair to you guys. It really is. I need to sort of try to get my motivation back and really get into this. That being said, actually, a few days ago, a friend of mine linked me to something that was actually supposed to be fun. It was a promo for the game called Watch Dogs coming out, and effectively, it was something that was meant to jokingly trace your digital shadow, or whatever, to see what kind of activity you've done online, and to see how easy you are to trace, and all this other stuff, given that that's kind of the premise of the game Watch Dogs in and of itself. And, needless to say, it asked to link to my Facebook, so I let it. And, according to that, I have, well, high anxiety, as I mentioned, among other things. But either way, something about it just stuck with me. It was basically that kind of thing where you don't think you have anything wrong with you, but then you see this thing glaring in your face, just like, that explains everything. And I did some research on a few of the things that it said about me that I could potentially have, and I'm like, holy crap. I was shell-shocked. I was honestly shell-shocked because I had no idea. It was certainly eye-opening. It explained so much about me, so many of my hang-ups, so many of my fears and phobias and everything, hang-ups and lethargy, my lack of motivation and everything. It explained everything to the T, man. And as a result, I'm probably going to try to speak to a professional counselor within the next week or so to sort of see if I can confirm if I have something potentially wrong, or if anything, to see if there's any steps that I can do to help manage it and sort of take my life back, really, because I'm sick of the anxiety and I'm sick of the negative emotions that it can bring on. I'm sick of the anger. I'm sick of the depressions. I'm just sick of everything, and I feel it's time I at least try to do something, because I have so many fears, and I'm constantly worried that you guys are just going to suddenly start cussing me out, or attacking me, or hating on me, or all this other stuff, and I constantly fear the worst in people, and that sucks, because all my life I always felt like I wanted to help everybody. I wanted to make people smile, even if it meant crushing my own self to do so, and I did that. I tried my best to be that person when I was younger, and it just, one thing led to another, and I just started getting more and more distant, more and more anxious, more and more angry. I mean, there was even a point where, in high school, I got so depressed one year that I literally felt like emotions were useless. So I literally sealed off my emotions. And for a good 4 months there, I was cold and stoic. I was basically Squall in the early game of Final Fantasy VIII. And the craziest part about that is when I was going through that, my eyes, which are normally bright blue, I don't know if you can tell with the camera, my eyes were like, they're normally a bright blue, but during that era of my life, they just went really, really cold and gray, and all the color was just gone out of them. It was crazy, and that was the worst I've ever been. And then, just one day, I realized that hiding my emotions and locking them away was just like throwing a part of myself away, and I had a sort of spiritual awakening, if you will. To the point where I felt revitalized, and my eyes were the brightest blue they've ever been, and all that other stuff. And yeah, I know, teen angst, whatever. Everyone's probably gone through a similar situation, but I'm an emotional person, and that's part of the things that I need to embrace. But I mean, you know, you can probably tell that I have some sort of thing, because I'm always fidgeting, you know, with like things. I'm always turning my chair, or I'm always looking around. I have trouble looking directly at the camera, directly at you guys, and that's something that I've always had a problem with. Like, I've never been able to make direct eye contact with anybody, hardly at all. It makes me blush, and it's just like I can't. I can't. I'm always so nervous, so fearful, so everything. So I don't know, that Watch Dogs thing. I know it sounds silly. I know it does. But it was eye-opening, and now I really want to look into it. I want to see if maybe there's something I can do to take care of it. No, well, not take care of it, but, you know, to deal with it, to help manage it, to just better myself, really. I wanted to say so much more, but I feel that I'm just going to not devalue, but what's the word here? I feel like I'm just going to keep on going off on tangent after tangent after tangent, and this video didn't go the same direction I wanted it to. But I feel like I've said everything that I've needed to, I actually wanted to say. That being said, I do want to get more into my Let's Playing again, because it has been something that has been somewhat therapeutic, but at the same time not really, because I go through a lot of personal issues that make me feel very lethargic and very, very down and very unmotivated, to the point where I can barely move in the morning sometimes. Like, it's so debilitating sometimes. It's bad. You know, and sometimes when I get like that, all I can do is absorb myself into my games, man. Like, that's the days where you'll see me play, like, Smite almost all day with Neon Demon, or I'll be on Final Fantasy 14 just running around doing whatever, or I'll just play, you know, Final Fantasy 10 HD or whatever, just something to keep my mind off the mental pains and everything like that. So, like I said, I'm probably going to try to speak to a professional counselor here soon and see what I can do to get over myself, I guess, if I have to say it like that. But needless to say, guys, I really do want to start trying to bring you guys the entertainment. I mean, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you guys, you know. So, I mean, seriously, guys, thank you so much for sticking with me as long as you have through everything that I've put you guys through. I mean, I feel like I've let you guys down so much, and that only compiles my lack of self-esteem, among other things. So, guys, if you lasted this long in this video, if you've watched the whole damn thing, then thank you. Though, honestly, I don't know why you would. I'm not even sure I would. But, anyway, guys, thank you. Seriously, thank you all for being there for me, especially the ones that I see comment on my videos a lot, like FS Metal, for example, and everyone else like that. I also wanted to thank all my friends that stuck with me. And I'm talking about my friends outside of out of YouTube and whatnot. Anyway, guys, seriously, no, thank you. It means a lot to me to know that I have as big of a fan base as I do, even though it's nothing in the grand scheme of things. And wow, I'm starting to cry. That's not good. Anyway, seriously though, guys, it does mean a lot to me, and I'm sorry that I keep neglecting my YouTube channel. But anyway, guys, this has been Zach, also known as Whitemage Serenia, signing off. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again soon. Take care, guys.